The new head of cycling's world governing body, the UCI, has called on Lance Armstrong to cooperate with authorities and speak truthfully on his doping use. Brian Cookson wants to know exactly how Armstrong avoided testing positive for doping during the course of his career and whether there was any collusion in the past with the UCI. Cookson was speaking in Johannesburg while attending the World Conference on Doping, and he's not alone in wanting to know the truth.
The World Anti-Doping Agency expect to be granted new powers this week as the fight to keep sport clean intensifies. And some sports would appear to need that more than most. Lance Armstrong's doping shadow continues to loom large here, with cycling's reputation in tatters. New UCI President Brian Cookson is tasked with restoring the sport's image, and at the top of his agenda is an independent inquiry that will look at how Armstrong avoided a positive doping result for near on a decade, despite regular testing.
Clearly, the one thing that Lance has to come out with is the allegations that he has allegedly made in the past about collusion with the UCI. That's the particular thing that I think he has new information on. I think it's absolutely vital that we look into these allegations properly to make sure that cycling never again gets itself into the desperate situation that it was in the past.
Armstrong recently revealed that he would be willing to cooperate with any doping inquiry and to talk honestly. But in return, he wants to be treated the same as other dopers, with his lifetime ban possibly reduced. Cookson wants the truth, but can't promise to change the ban.
I hope he comes forward and tells the truth. Whether that results in any reduction in the current sanctions that he's got, essentially will be a matter for USADA, because they were the body that sanctioned him in the first instance.
USADA, or the US Anti-Doping Agency, imposed a lifetime ban on Armstrong after the cyclist refused to cooperate with their investigation. But they remain optimistic that Lance will reveal just how he managed to avoid detection for so long.
We've tried to get Lance to come in. We offered him back in June of 2012 before we initiated the formal process to come in, just like all the other 11 teammates of his did. Come in, sit down with us, be truthful, acknowledge the truth, but also help us clean this up on a broader scale going forward. We've had conversations with him, over the last several months, including recently, and we're hopeful because we firmly believe he has some information I think that would be important.
Some members of WADA also feel there is real value to finding out how Lance did it, as it will help them for future cases. But it has to be on the right terms.
He certainly knows what was going on, and he knew who was helping him and how they were helping him. 9 years of constant testing without a single positive outcome is pretty remarkable.
So will we ever find out the complete truth as to how Lance Armstrong avoided detection for so many years? If nothing else, it would appear, though, that cycling has the stomach now to get its house in order and ready to take a further blow if needed in order to get there. Perhaps after that, the sport can then finally move on from those dark days. Dan Williams, CCTV, Johannesburg.